Hey there, welcome back. So, you want to start a business, huh? It's exciting, right? But it can be a little intimidating too.
Yeah, there's a lot of advice out there.
Tons of it. So, how do you know what to listen to? What actually works? Well, that's what we're diving into today with Rework.
This book, it's not your typical business book, you
It's
know?
like they threw out the rule book and said, we're doing things our way.
Exactly. It's about understanding the principles, the core ideas, and making them work for you.
And the guys who wrote it, Jason Fried and David Heinemeier Hansson, they're not just talking the talk,
Oh no, they built 37 signals.
which became Basecamp, which is, kind of a big
And
deal.
they did it all by going against the grain.
So, Rework, it's like their playbook, full of real-world experience.
And they don't hold back. Like, take the idea of you learn from your mistakes. They completely disagree.
Wait, really? I always thought mistakes were part of the process. Fail fast, fail often, right?
Yeah, but rework flips that on its head. They say, why focus on what doesn't work? Success leaves clues. You replicate that.
So, find what works and do more of it. Like, don't reinvent the wheel.
Exactly. And those long-term business plans, forget it. They're just guesses.
Well, yeah, things change so fast these days. By the time you finish a plan, it's probably obsolete.
Right. The world's too unpredictable. Rework says be adaptable, improvise.
So, it's more like having a compass, not a roadmap.
Exactly. And the whole thing about bigger is always better. Nope. Small can be the goal.
Right, the growth at all costs
Mhm.
mentality. But Rework says, hold on, small businesses can be nimble like a speedboat.
They can turn on a dime, react quickly. No bureaucracy.
And you can stay true to your vision even if it means staying smaller.
Absolutely. And this leads to another big point.
Yeah.
Workaholism. It's counterproductive.
Okay, yeah, the whole hustle harder culture.
Rework says that leads to burnout. Prioritize being effective, not working around the clock.
They even say send people home at 5 p.m. Imagine that, work-life balance.
It's radical, right? But they say people with lives outside of work are more refreshed, more creative.
Okay, so Rework is making us rethink everything we thought about business. But where do we even begin?
It starts with finding your, as they call it, dent in the universe.
Okay, I like that. What's that mean?
It means doing something meaningful, something that matters to you, that
Yeah.
makes a difference. It doesn't have to be huge, just something you're passionate about.
Something that makes you excited to get out of bed in the morning.
Yes. And how do you find that? Scratch your own itch, solve a problem you actually have.
So the best businesses come from a real need.
Exactly. You're not chasing trends, you're solving a problem you understand.
Makes sense. Okay, so you found your itch, now what?
Start making something. Don't get stuck in planning mode.
Action over everything, right? They say ideas are worthless without execution.
And here's where it gets interesting. Embrace constraints.
Wait, constraints? I thought we wanted no limitations.
That's the old way of thinking. Rework says constraints make you resourceful.
Oh, like necessity is the mother of invention.
Exactly. Look at Southwest Airlines. They only fly Boeing 737s.
Really? I had no idea. Why only one type of plane?
Seems like a limit, but it simplifies everything. Pilots, mechanics, everyone can work on any plane.
So they turned a constraint into an advantage. That's amazing.
Exactly. And that leads to another key idea. Build half a product, not a half-assed product.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. What does that mean?
It means focus on the core of what you're offering. Nail that before adding anything extra.
So quality over quantity.
Better a truly great half product than a mediocre full one, they say.
Don't try to be everything to everyone. Focus on being the best at a few things. Makes sense to me.
It's like, imagine building a house, right? You wouldn't start with the curtains before you have walls. You need that foundation first.
Totally. So what about building a team? Rework seems to say, stay lean, stay small for as long as you can.
Yeah, they're big on hiring slowly, only when it's absolutely necessary.
They even have a whole chapter called Hiring as a Mother. What's that all about?
Basically, they're saying think twice, 3 times before you add someone new.
Don't just hire because you think you might need someone later down the line.
Right. They say hire when it hurts. Like when you literally can't function without that extra person.
That's interesting. So many companies do these huge hiring sprees. Then a few months later, layoffs.
It's disruptive. And get this, they're also totally against resumes.
Wait, what? No resumes. How do you even, evaluate someone without a resume?
They think resumes are just like lists of stuff,
Right.
skills, job titles. They don't tell you who the person really is.
Okay, so look beyond the bullet points. Try to get a sense of the person. Got it.
Exactly. Rework says cover letters are way more telling. It's a chance to see personality, how they think.
So much more than just, I'm proficient in this and I'm an expert in that.
Exactly. They even say, forget about formal education.
Wow, really? So no fancy degrees, no Ivy League credentials.
They're saying, look, practical experience, a passion for learning, that matters more.
I can see that. Someone who's been in the trenches might be more adaptable than someone fresh out of school.
Exactly. And this might sound weird, but they're big on hiring great writers.
Okay, now that one throws me for a loop. Why is writing so important, especially for jobs that aren't, like, writing focused?
They believe good writing equals clear thinking. And that's valuable everywhere, right?
Right, being able to communicate your ideas clearly no matter what you do.
Exactly. And it's huge for building a strong brand, connecting with customers. Okay, we've talked a lot about the good stuff, building a business, but what about when things go wrong? You know, PR disasters, that kind of thing.
Everyone makes mistakes, right? So how does Rework say we should handle those situations?
They have a whole section on damage control. They're all about owning your mistakes.
So no hiding, no trying to spin things.
Nope. Be upfront, be honest. Tell your customers, we messed up. Take responsibility, explain how you're fixing it.
They give examples of companies that handled crises well and others that, well, didn't.
Exactly. And the ones who are honest, even when it was tough, they came out looking better, even if the problem was worse.
So honesty really is the best policy. Who knew? What about apologies? Those can be tricky.
Oh yeah, they hate those fake corporate-sounding apologies.
We apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused. Ugh,
The worst, right?
the worst. Rework says be sincere, say you're sorry, mean it, and explain what you'll do differently next time.
So be human. Customers can tell when you're being genuine.
Absolutely. And that human touch, that's important for customer service too. Rework is big on having everyone in the company interact with customers.
Everyone on the front lines, they call it, right?
Yep. They say it gives everyone a better understanding of what customers need, what they're struggling with.
It's like that game telephone. The message gets all jumbled up as it's passed around.
Exactly. If only a few people are talking to customers, everyone else loses that connection.
So even if it's just for a little bit each month, having the whole team talk to customers can be really valuable, keeps everyone on the same page. Okay, what about company culture? Rework says you don't create a culture, you cultivate it. It's about what you do, not what you say.
So less about mission statements, more about walking the walk.
Exactly. And they're not about that whole rock star employee thing either.
You know, the superstar hire that's going to come in and magically solve everything.
Right. They say focus on making a great environment for everyone, not just a select few.
So build a place where everyone feels valued, where they can do their best work.
Absolutely. And when things change, because they always do, Rework has some simple advice. Take a deep breath.
Good life advice in general, I think.
Right. They get it. Change is hard. People resist it.
Oh, I've been there. Trying to implement something new and everyone's pushing back. It's tough.
But they say, expect that resistance. Don't panic. Don't give up. Give people time to adjust.
Usually that resistance fades away once they see it's not so bad after all.
Exactly. And here's another gem. Inspiration is perishable.
Ooh, I like that. Tell me more.
They're saying, when you have a great idea, don't wait. That initial spark fades fast.
Don't overthink it, just do it, right?
Yes. Rework is all about action. Stop making excuses and make it happen.
It's like, you know that feeling when you start a new project, you're so pumped, so full of ideas, but if you don't act on it, that energy fizzles out.
Totally. Rework is a reminder the best time to act is now. Not tomorrow, not next week, now.
Now. You know what I love about this book? It's about more than just, starting a company or being an entrepreneur.
It's about working better, living better, no matter what you do.
Totally. It applies to everything. One thing that really stuck with me, the idea that tone is in your fingers, kind of a cool phrase, right? Sounds like something a musician would say.
It is. Like guitarists say your sound, it comes from you, not the guitar itself.
It's that it factor, right? Your unique style, your voice.
Exactly. And in business, your company's tone, its personality, that comes from the people, from the founders.
It's in everything you do, how you treat people, how you talk to customers.
It's got to be real authentic. People can tell when you're faking it.
Totally. Nobody likes a phony. Oh, another thing from Rework. Embrace the byproducts. What do they even mean by that?
Okay, so picture a lumber mill. They chop down trees, right? Their main product is the lumber, the wood. But what else do they get?
Sawdust.
Exactly. Sawdust. Now, they could just toss it out, right?
Yeah.
But lots of them, they use it. They make particle board, pellets for fuel, even bedding for animals.
Turning waste into something useful, I like it. But how does that apply to, say, a tech company? Or any business that's not, like, literally producing sawdust?
Every business has byproducts. Think about it. Blog posts, presentations, even just customer feedback.
Stuff that's created along the way, even if it's not the main thing you sell.
Exactly. And Rework says, don't just throw that stuff away. Find a way to make it valuable.
So repurpose it. A blog post becomes an ebook. A presentation becomes a workshop.
Exactly. You're finding hidden value in what you're already doing. Okay, switching gears a bit. Rework has some great advice on teamwork, on being productive. And one thing they talk about is the illusions of agreement.
Illusions of agreement. What's that all about?
You ever been in a meeting, everyone's nodding along, yeah, great idea, let's do it. But then, nothing happens.
Ugh, the worst. We're all on the same page, supposedly, and then radio silence.
Right. Rework says that happens because people aren't being clear. Maybe they're afraid to speak up. So instead of just talking about ideas, they say, show, don't tell.
So less talk, more action.
Exactly. Make a prototype, a mock-up, something concrete. That way, any disagreements, you catch them early on.
Get it out in the open instead of just dancing around the issue.
Right. And here's a simple but powerful tip. Always ask why.
Why? Okay, I'm listening.
Not in a challenging way, but with genuine curiosity. Why are we doing this? Will this actually make a difference?
So question your assumptions. Don't just go through the motions.
Exactly. Make sure what you're doing actually matters. And for all the perfectionists out there, Rework has this advice. Go for good enough.
Oh, I needed to hear that. It's so easy to get caught up in the details, try and make everything perfect.
Right. But sometimes that holds you back. Good enough is, well, good enough.
Get it out there, get feedback, improve it later, progress over perfection. Okay.
Exactly. And on that note, Rework has one more piece of advice. Don't copy.
Okay, but there are so many businesses out there, especially in the tech world. It seems like everyone's copying each other. So how do you even not copy?
It's about finding what makes you unique, your own strengths. Don't just imitate what everyone else is doing.
So differentiation is key. Stand out from the crowd.
Exactly. Like, think about Zappos, the shoe company. They didn't become huge by being just another shoe store. They were known for their amazing customer service.
Right, that was their thing, and it set them apart.
Exactly. So find what you're good at, what you care about, and make that your focus. Don't be afraid to be different.
So what's the bottom line? What do we take away from Rework?
It's a reminder that the rules are always changing. In business, in life, don't be afraid to challenge the way things have always been done.
Don't wait for permission. Trust your gut.
Find your own path, build something you're proud of.
Make a dent in the universe. And on that note, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Rework.
If you're feeling inspired, don't let that feeling fade. Go make something happen.
Until next time.